Alright, so first thing I will do a mind testing first. I hope you can actually hear what I'm saying. Yeah, let me move myself to another corner. But yeah, so today we'll discuss about this MRSM paper. Just do not want to waste your time. Yeah, let's begin about this paper. I just went through about this paper and I realized some question is hard, and I also went through the marking scheme, and some of my answer will be slightly different with the marking scheme, but I will explain about why my answer is different and the logic behind it. Anyways, I hope you actually can get something from this live streaming. Alright, so yeah, so let me move myself to maybe a smaller upper corner. Alright, so yeah, hope I do not blocking the whole thing here. Right, so yeah, I see a lot of you are chatting over there, and about 200 students are joining this live streaming here. Thanks for coming here, and then yeah, let's start about this paper. This is MRSM Percobaan, which is for 2018. And yeah, I think this paper is very good, and yeah, I got this paper online. So yeah, thanks for joining this live streaming. So let's start about the questions. Okay, let's start about the question number 1 here. Question number 1 basically is quite simple. Okay, so for these questions over here, let me just have my pen here. I will make sure I can write. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so for this one, you will see a sector. You will see a sector, and then the question tell you the radius is 12. So I know the radius itself, it will be 12 here. And what else I know is, okay, the question actually give you the angle. So the angle ROT, let me just zoom out a little bit. Yeah, we can see, then you can see more. Okay, the angle ROT is given. So this angle is given. This angle itself is 1.284 radian. Right, so find the parameter of the shaded region. So in order to find the shaded region, so basically 2 things you need to find here. First is like you need to find the length of RT. You need to find RT. Okay, so for RT you can use the cosine rule over here, and then you need to find the arc length RT as well. So basically this is the 2 things I will want to find here. So okay, so first thing is, in order to find the arc length is super simple. The formula is S equals to R theta, and we know the theta must be radian, and this 1.284 is radian, so it's very easy. R is given is 12 centimeter, is given at the very beginning. So yeah, so I can get the arc length RT easily just doing the R theta 1.284. Right, then I will use calculator to actually find out the answer for this one. Time 1.284. So the arc length, which is 15.408. Right, the next thing is, how about the chord? Okay, this line, they have a name, they call it chords. How about the chords RT or the straight line RT? I prefer to use the formula. Of course, you can like separate this one into a right angle triangle, and then you use a SOHCAHTOA to actually find it, but then I just too lazy to do that. So what I will do over here is I just use the cosine rule. I hope you know the cosine rule. A equals to square root of b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A. Yeah, because I think this formula is quicker and easier. So therefore my A over here will be my opposite length, which is RT. I write RT equals to square root. B and C will be my 2 sides, 12 and 12 here. So 12 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 12 times 12, and then you multiply with cos 1.284. Okay, but something you need to pay attention over here is, this is cos 1.284, and 1.284 is a radian. So the first thing over here is you have to make sure your calculator on the top here, you see R on the top here rather than D, because you need to change your calculator to radian whenever you have sine, cos, tangent related to radian. Okay, so I will type shift mode and then number 4. Right, then I will type everything into the calculator. Minus 2 times 12 times 12 times cos 1.284. Right, then I square root my answer. I get my RT will be 14.37. So in all, one more decimal, 371. Right, so therefore you want to get the parameter, just both of these answer you sum together. So I will say parameter equal to the answer just now plus 15.408. Okay, so I will get my parameter 78 maybe cm. Is it cm? Yeah, I guess it's cm. Alright, so how to change radian to degree? If in order to change the radian to degree, you can do manually, or you want to do the formula, you just multiply pi over 180. Okay, this is how we change the radian to degree. Yep. Let me see any question from you guys. Actually, you can also use the sine rule, right? You can separate it into a right angle triangle, and then you can use a sine to find the half of it, and then you multiply 2. Yeah, you can sort of use the sine rule to do that. Sorry. Yeah, you are right. I write opposite already. This one, radian in degree is times 180 over pi. Degree to radian is multiply pi over 180. Yeah, sorry for that. Okay, so let's move on to the next question because this question is very easy. Yeah, something very important is whenever the question gives you pi equals to 3.142, you cannot type the pi in your calculator, or you cannot use a 22 over 7. You have to use the value given, or else your final answer is basically like 1 or 2 decimal different, then you will be minus mark. But in this case, I don't think we need to use the pi. Unless, I guess this pi is for students who want to change this one into a degree and solve the triangle. But the whole process, I didn't do that, so I don't think I will need to use the pi. So yeah, for this topic, you need to know about some formula like s equal to r theta and a equals to half r squared theta. This one for area of sector. Yeah, this is some basic formula about this topic. Make sure you remember it. Alright, so for the second question here, right, so it's given that tangent theta equals to k, and then theta is an acute angle. So they ask you to find cos negative theta. So the cos negative theta here basically is mean. Cos negative theta is mean cos theta. Okay, if you want me to explain this one slightly further, because in order to do the negative angle, we only for acute angle. We know negative angle basically is from 0, we rotate clockwise, right? So negative angle is like this. So if this is 0, I go from here, let's say 60 degree. This angle over here we call negative 60. Mean going this direction is a negative angle. If going this direction, 60 degree is positive 60. This is the idea of negative angle, the first thing. So therefore, because we already learned about add sugar to coffee, right? Add sugar to coffee, we know cos at this quadrant, since it's acute, so it's from 0 here, will move up to here, it's 90 degree, right? So cos will be positive. So this one explains why cos negative theta will equals to cos theta. So therefore, just in case in the exam they come out sine negative theta, you will get negative sine theta. Because sine in the fourth quadrant itself is negative. So same idea, if the question asks about tangent negative theta, you will get negative tangent theta. Only cos will get positive for negative theta. Just remember this. Alright, but then this kind of question like never come out for so many years. So finally I see this kind of question in MRSM paper. So therefore we go back to the tangent theta. Because tangent theta equals to k, right? And acute angle we know basically in the first quadrant. Because right now we focus on tangent theta equals to k. When tangent theta equals to k, we know k is k over 1, right? Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So it will be k over 1. This is the theta. And then hypotenuse we can easily find, which is 1 square plus k square, and square it. I'm going to use a Pythagoras over here. So then I can easily get this one. So cos is what? Cos is ah, right? 1 over square root 1 plus k square. Just like this. Just like this to do this paper. Right. Okay, so if no problem, then I will move on to the next question. If you have any problem, you can post in the chat there, the chat room over there, and then I will try to explain to you. Right, this question solve cos x plus sin x plus cos 180 minus x equals to cos x, and then the angle they want is between 0 to 360. Yeah, okay, why sin negative theta is equal to sin theta? As what I say just now, because negative theta that's mean in fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, only cos will get positive. So whenever you see negative theta, always think about fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, only cos get positive. That means if you get sine negative theta, it's negative sine theta. If you got tangent negative theta, it's negative tangent theta. Just remember this. Okay? Okay, for this one, there's one formula you have to know. It's about cos A minus B. Yeah, you have to use the formula cos A minus B. It will be cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. So I will use this formula for that thing, and then I will solve these whole questions. Okay, so Yeah, so therefore I have 8 sine x plus cos. Okay, cos 180 minus theta, this one I'm going to apply over here cos 180 minus theta and minus x. Alright, so I'm going to use back the x here. So I will have cos 180 cos x plus sine 180 sine x. Do you see how actually I apply the formula into it? Right, then I will do from here. I will straight away simplify to save some time over here. Cos 180, type in the calculator. This is degree. Change your calculator back to degree. Cos 180 is negative 1. Right, so negative 1 multiply cos x is negative cos x. Or you do not have bracket, you can straight away write minus cos x also can. So I will say minus cos x. Alright, sine 180 is 0. 0 multiplied sine x is 0. So I only left negative cos x. So the whole thing I solved already, I only left negative cos x. Okay, will equals to cos x. Alright, negative cos x move to the other side with plus cos x. Then I will get 2 cos x. This is 8 sine x. Then I know sine x over cos x is tangent x, isn't it? So I will throw my 8 to the other side to bottom, 2 over 8. So therefore, my tangent x is 1 over 4. Then I will do the inverse tangent over here for 1 over 4. Then I can easily get my answer over here. But make sure you change your calculator back to degree. Alright, so shift tangent 1 over 4. Yeah, you will get your x is 14.04 degree. Right, because they're up to 360, I need to think this is positive, right? Tangent positive in first and third. First is theta, third is 180 plus theta, right? So 180 need to plus my answer, plus the 14.04. I will get 194.04. So this is the only two answer I got over here. Alright, so let's see any question here. The angle is basic angle, so when a negative, it will start from 360 back to 0. So cos x cos y blah blah blah. Where's the cos a minus b? Yeah, the cos a minus b I already simplified on the top here, just in case you didn't see. The cos a minus b I simplified, at the end I get negative cos theta. Okay, so yeah, for whoever who missed up this live streaming, you can watch back in my channel later. The YouTube will automatically uploads these videos to my channel. Okay. How come negative cos become time? Negative cos become time, what do you mean? Okay, this one is basically the formula. Alright, so for whoever still struggle why the cos a minus b will cos a cos b plus sine a sine b, you go back to check your formula list. This is the formula. Just apply using the formula list. Alright, so let's move on. This question is not too bad. Alright, so okay, number 4 here. I need to zoom out a little bit, but this one will need me some space here. Okay. Okay. There's two ways to actually to solve this one. Of course, I will show you the easiest way first. Okay, so diagram 4 show the position of 3 horses. You have Maisie, Ivonne, and Ryan. So I'm going to call it M, I, and R. Right? The position of the Johan, I'm going to call it J, when he fell off from his horse. So Ivonne is found. Okay, for his house, Ivonne is found that Johan's and all 3 horses are collinear. So over here, collinear means what? Collinear means all the 4 objects over here, they share in the same line called collinear. So I assume you should have a same line here. Same straight line. So they call it collinear. This is the first idea. Okay, the second thing they will say is I is equal distance from M and R. So basically I will be the midpoint of M and R. So yeah, so this one will be the midpoint. Alright, so the distance between J and M is 3 times the distance between J and I. So J and M, here. So if I call the j, if the distance here, I'm going to call it x. Let me change to other color maybe. I'm going to call it x. Then the distance here will be 3 times, right? So it will be 3x. And I will be the midpoint of m and r, right? So I know here will be another 4x. Okay, x is basically the distance of them, right? So I hope you get it. And then given the coordinate of r is, so r they give you the coordinates, which is nice, 20, 50. And then they ask you to find the coordinate of I. So they basically, the question, they want this coordinate. So in order to get this coordinate, right, okay, we will assume the Johan is at origin, which is 0, 0. So basically, the easiest way is I solve the triangle, then I can straight away get this answer. But because this is 4-mark question, so later we will need to use a midpoint and the ratio formula to do this. Alright, but if I do, actually it's quite simple. Because this triangle over here, this is 5x, right? So that means the ratio is 5. Because this is 20, right? This is 15. So if I want to get the x here, because x here, that means they're going to move here x also. I mean in the ratio of x. Okay, so therefore, the faster way I will do is x will equals to 20 divided by the ratio of 5 and 15 divided by ratio of 5. Because here is 20, right? The ratio is 5. I want to know what is 1x. So I divide 5. Here is 15, right? For 5x. So I want to know 1x, so I divide by 5. Then I straight away get the answer 4 and 3. Okay? This is the easiest way of getting this. But if you don't understand, I will use back the proper way for this one. Okay, because of the x over here, we can know the ratio for this thing. So I'm going to like make it smaller because I want to explain over here. This is r, and then this is j, and then this is m. Because of ratio here is 3, here is 5. So I'm going to do ratio 3 and 5 here. And I have some coordinate at least. I have some coordinate here. So this is 20, 15. And then this one will be 0, 0. And then this one will be x and y. Then I will use the ratio formulas to solve this thing. But we are not finding the j, but then we know the I is basically is a midpoint. So we will do that, we'll do it after that. So, okay, let me save some space and I'm going to write here. You might find a bit messy, but just bear with me. Alright, so we know this formula is crossover multiply, right? So I will do 5 multiply x, 5 multiply x, and 3 multiply 20, which is 60, over 3 plus 5, which is 8, equals to the middle coordinate, which is 0. Then after I done the x, I will do the same thing for y. So you can see 3 will multiply 15 and 5 multiply y, right? 5 multiply y plus 3 multiply 15 is 45 over 8 equals 0. So from here I can get a coordinate m. So 8 times 0 is 0. This is negative 12. Okay? Because 60, negative 60 divided by 5, negative 12. Alright, lack of some space. You can solve it yourself. The y should be negative 9. Alright, now I have the coordinate of m ready. I just find out using the formula, which is negative 12 and negative 9. Then now I want to know the coordinate of I. So I will just erase all this, and even I will erase this one. Because right now, the I itself is the midpoint. It's the midpoint, right? So therefore, I will use the midpoint formula to get my I. So midpoint formula, I'm going to call this one xy now. So the midpoint formula here, it will be negative 12 plus 20 divided by 2, comma, and negative 9 plus 15 divided by 2. Then from here, this is 8 divided by 2, 4. This is 6 divided by 2, 3. So I get 4, 3. You see, I already get the 4, 3 at very beginning. But then, because it's 4-mark questions, and I guess this is what the examiner want you to do. So yeah, this is how we do this. For students who just do not know what is happening over here, you need to go back to refer to 2 formula. You go to check out what is this formula. x2 over m plus n, comma, my1 plus my2 over m plus n equals to xy. This is use this formula whenever you have three coordinate with the different ratio m and n. Alright, you have three coordinate with different ratio, then you use this formula. And second formula I used just now is the midpoint formula. The midpoint formula is just x1 plus x2, x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. Alright, so basically just these two formulas, so make sure you know about this. Yeah, the question do say the I is actually the midpoint. So if not mistaken, you can see the I is equal distance. The I is equal distance from M and R. So I will be equal distance to M and R. So therefore I know I itself is the midpoint. I is the midpoint is given. Alright, so okay, so if you get it, so I will continue to the next question. Alright, okay, this is one of the questions I say my answer actually is slightly different with the marking scheme answer. Okay, so diagram 7 actually show the vehicle registration number and find the number of way of these vehicle registration numbers that can be formed using the 3 letter followed by 4 digits. I believe this kind of vehicle register number you see every day in maybe your father's car, or yeah, you see on the road. So therefore we actually knows what happens to the car number. So therefore first 3 letter over here must be letter, and then the next 4 letter over here must be number and number and number. You do see some car plate number, something like WQS, maybe 1665. Yeah, this is just a random. This is just a random car number. Alright, I just give you a random car number to give you some idea. First thing is, we know for the car number, the number can be repeated. We even can have WQQ, maybe WQQ 1998. Yeah, we know letter and number also can repeat for any car number. But something quite tricky over here is, we seldom see the car number like 0115 example, because normally the car numbers doesn't start with 0. Okay, so the car numbers, yeah, so far I never see any car number start with 0. Maybe have, maybe you can let me know. So I will assume the first number over here, this one cannot be 0. So 0 prime, okay, 0 prime means cannot be 0. Okay, so then, okay, for the first letter over here, you can use all the 26 letter, right? From A to Z is 26 letter. So it's 26. This one is 26. This one is 26. And then because this one cannot accept 0 as a first number, so you have number from 1 to 9, which is 9 number, right? And then the next all the number you can have 0, right? Just the first number cannot be 0. So this one will be from 0 to 9 is 10 number, is 10 number, is 10 number. Then you multiply them. Alright, then this is how you do this question. So 26 power of 3 multiply 9 multiply 1000. So you will get 158184000. Okay, this is the answer I get, but of course I check the marking scheme. They assume the first number can be 0 also. So they are not multiplying 9 over here, they multiply 10. But I kind of disagree with the marking scheme. So maybe that one is not the marking scheme, is some teacher actually like is very kind and work out the answer for the student. But I just have the different answer. Of course you can let me know if you know the real answer for it. So let's see any question I want to do about this. Alright, some students might confuse this is the permutation question, but I would say this is not permutation because of what? Because one of the reason is, yeah, some students might use MPR, but in this case the number and letter can be repeat. When the number and letter can repeat, so normally we don't use the MPR to do this. Alright, I thought the letter, yeah, so this question also a little bit confused because the question doesn't say is it using the given number and letters to solve it. They just ask you to find a number of different ways the vehicle registration number can be formed by using 3 letters followed by 4 digits. But actually the question over here also doesn't say they want to use the 3 letter and 4 digits given above. So the question doesn't say that, so maybe the question is still considered correct. Unless you can only use the QKL7025 to like sort them, then you might get some 108, something like that. But in this case, I guess the question wants you to use all the letter and number, because the question doesn't say you use the letter and number above, right? So I will assume it is not. Okay, 26 is from where? The 26 over here is basically is all the letter you have from A to Z. Basically you have 26 letter. And the 10 over here is because the number from 0 to 9, you basically have 10 letter. The 9 over here is basically I do not want my 0 as my first number, so I from 1 to 9, there's a 9 number over here. Okay, I hope I actually tell you the answer. Yeah, some students might think about what if I use the 3 factorial and 4 factorial to do that. If the question says only can use the QKL, then your 3 factorial or 3p3 can be used. But in the whole question over here, the question doesn't say they only want the QKL given. That means you can have A. You might think A is not in the number plate. But this number plate is just the example. I don't think you need to use the number plate because the question doesn't say so. Okay, I hope I didn't make you so confused. Kind of permutation and combination, but it's not exactly of it. So yeah, because the number and letter can be repeated one is seldom happen in SPM, but recently the K-byte question they always insert those repeated question, because repeated one normally you will learn in STPM, but then yeah, they're just coming out here. I guess it's under the topic of permutation and combination because you are calculate number of way, so it's definitely in that topic. Just the way is different with what you always do. Okay, so the answer is 108. Is it? Does the question say find a number of different ways the vehicle number can be formed by using 3 letters followed by 4 digits? Maybe, but they just say 3 letters followed by 4 digits. Okay, let's say we want to use the QKL above. Okay, let's say we work out 2 different ways. Okay, this one is just assume we does not use. So let's talk about what if you want to use the letter and number above. See what answer do we getting here. And okay, so therefore the 3 letter QKL here, you can basically swap place among them. So it will be 3p3 or 3 factorial for this one. Okay, okay, 4 factorial. Okay, Then now you have number over here. Because the first number, as what I say, we doesn't use a 0, so you can only put 0, 2, and 5. And then so over here will be 3 number, you choose one, or it's 3-way, or you can say 3-way to actually insert here, because you cannot start with 0, right? And then over here, you will left, no matter what number you choose, you will left 3 number for the 3 place here, right? So here is another 3 factorial. So I guess this one I bring it down, okay? I guess it's 3 factorial. I guess it's 3 factorial times 3 factorial times 3. 3p1 is 3, so you will get the answer is 108. Okay, you will get 108 if assume we are using the letter and the number given above. Alright, just remember the first number we cannot start with 0. So I want to ask, is it the SPM will come out a question like this? Not clear information. I hope the SPM question will be more clear. Yeah, because I am not sure. I am not the one who set the SPM questions. Alright, so let's move on to next question. It's given that A equals to 5i minus 7j, B equals to 4i plus 3j. Find the unit vector in the direction A minus B. Alright, so I want to do A minus B first, then I will do the unit vector of it. A minus B basically is A minus B. So I write in the column vector 5 negative 7 minus 4, 3. So I will get 1, negative 10. Okay, so I want to find the unit vector of A minus B. So basically it's 1 over the magnitude. So it's 1 square plus negative 10 square. And then 1, negative 10. So this one is 101. So you can write in the I and J form. So it will be I minus 10j over square root 101. Yeah, or you want to separate them also can. Then it's 1 over square root 101i minus 10 over square root 101j. It's a bit weird for this question, but I hope my answer is correct. Okay, the next question over here. The diagram 7 shows a triangle and the point B and E are the midpoint of AC. E is a midpoint of DF and B is a midpoint of AC. So it's given here. So I do some remark to give you some idea. Alright, so it's given AF is equal to P. So AF over here is equal to P, and DF is 2Q. D to F is 2Q. So here is 1Q, here is another 1Q. Because it's 2Q. And AB equals to 1 over 4 of AD. Alright, so yeah, we kind of get it. So right now we want to do BE. So in order to do BE, my easiest way is I will go all the way from BA to AF to FE. Okay, this is how I get the BE. Okay, so in order to get the BE, I will need to do the BA. So therefore, I solve AB first lah. AB equals to 1 over 4 of AD, right? AD is quite simple, right? 1 over 4 AD. AD will be AF plus FD, right? So it will be P minus 2Q. So I multiply 1 over 4, I got AB first. So my AB is 1 over 4P minus 1 over 2Q. So therefore, because what? Now I got AB, I want BA. So it will be flipped over. So it will be negative 1 over 4P plus 1 over 2Q. I add a negative for it because it's opposite direction, because this is BA. Okay, BA plus AF. AF is simple, is P. Plus FE. FE itself, it should be minus Q. So then I will solve it. I will get 3 over 4P minus 1 over 2Q. Yeah, that's all. Okay, this is how we do this kind of questions. Okay, so it's quite simple. I will move on to the next question. Okay. This is one of the K-Bar question which a lot of students ask me about this question. Yeah, so I decided to discuss over here. So how many mark we want to pass. Yeah, for students who lost track, right, you can actually watch back the video later. Because we have 35 questions and we only have 2 hours, I don't think we can finish. Yes, the question do ask about BE. Okay, so this one explain why I find BE. BE is from B to E, alright? Okay, come, let's have a look on these questions. Okay, in these questions, Table 8 will show the formats of the diagnostic test. Consists 25 questions. Each correct answer is awarded 1 mark. So, yeah. So, each question will give you 1 mark. And then you have section A, section B, section C. And then for section 1, you need to answer 13 questions, 7 questions, and 5 questions respectively. In section 1 is multiple choice question. A, B, C, D. For you to choose one. One of the answer is correct. For section 2 is correct or wrong. So it's simple. And section 3 is filling the blank with the correct answer. So the Kaosams will sit for the test and she answered all the questions in section section 1, section 2, and 3 questions from the section 3. So he answered all here, and answer all here, and answer 3 questions over here. It is found that 9 of her questions in the section 1 and 5 questions in the section 2 and all the questions in the section 3 is correct. So that means right now she already correct like 9 questions here, 5 questions here, and 3 questions here. Okay, so calculate the chance the Kaosams will score 80% in this diagnostic test. So in order to get 80%, the first idea is I need to know like how many questions she need to get correct in order to get 18%. Because this test is 25 questions, right? So I want to know X is the number of questions she need to get correct, divided by 25 by 100%, she need to get 80 marks. Alright, so I will kind of solve this thing. So I will guess, if I solve this one, 0.8 times 25, I will get 20. So that means for her to actually get 80%, she need to get correct at least 20 questions. So over here, she already corrects like 9 plus 8. She already corrects 17 questions. So in order to get A's, 80 marks, she need 3 more questions, isn't it? She need to correct 3 more questions to get A, to get 80 marks, right? So from here, I will cross over the third part, because third part she only answered 3 questions and she got all correct. So the 3 questions is not possible come on the part 3. So there's possible come on the part 1 and part 2. So in order to get all the questions, all the 3 questions, there's a few ways happenings over here. So the first idea is maybe on the part 1, she correct all the 3 questions, but part 2, she correct 0. So total here, she correct 20, right? Or for the part 1, she correct 2 questions, and part 2, she correct 1 question. She correct 1 question. This one I will say she correct 0 question. Okay, or for the part 1, she only correct 1 question. For the part 2, she correct 2 questions. Is it possible part 1 correct 0, part 2 correct 3 questions? This is not possible, right, for the last one, because part 2, 7 questions, she already correct 2 questions. So the last one is not possible. Therefore, I will need to work out all these 3 possibilities. 1, 2, and 3. And for these questions, basically we need to use the formulas are the NCR, PR, Q, N minus R will equals to probability X equals to R. So I need to use this formula for these questions because this is the easiest way of doing this. So over here, I need to find out what is the P and Q for part 1 and part 2. So the P here, because it's MCQ question, right? That's mean you will get one of it correct. 1 over 4, right? So Q will be 3 over 4. This one P will be only right and wrong, right? So it's 1 over 2. So Q will be 1 over 2. Okay, then the next thing is I need to know about N and R. Because for the part 1, she already correct 9 questions. So the N should be 4. Still have 4 more questions for her to choose, right? The R will be depend. The R is depend on the scenario. So like this one, part 1, let's say need to correct 3, then R will be 3. Okay, so R will be either 3 or 2 or 1, depend on the scenario. Okay, for the part 2, the N is 2 because left 2 more questions, right? Then the R over here, you can see this is 3, 2, 1, right? So for this one will be 0, 1, and 2. Alright, now we have all this information already. We can actually work it out and see whether we can get the answer correct or not. But there's so limited space here, so okay, so I will try to work ours over here. Okay, so therefore I will work out the first scenario. I will find the probability that she will actually, the part 1, she will correct 3, and part 2, she will correct 0. Okay, I will work out one of these first. Okay, for part 1, the N is 4, right? R in this case is 3. So I will do 4C3. And then the P is 1 over 4, power of 3. Q is 3 over 4, power of 1. Alright, now I solved the first thing already. Now I want to do the second one. I will multiply. Second part got correct 0. Second part N is 2, right? R is 0 if got correct 0. P and Q is 1 over 2 each. So it will be 2C0, 1 over 2 power of 0. And this one will be 1 over 2 power of 2. Alright, this is how we got the first one. And then if the second one, I want to do the first part, I correct 2. And second part, I correct 1. Then I will do exactly the same thing. I just change my R value. This all is the value will be variable. This all value will be variable. Alright, so in this case, I will do 4C2, 1 over 4 power of 2, and then 3 over 4 power of 2. And the second part I got correct. One question will be 2C1, 1 over 2 power of 1, 1 over 2 power of 1. And the last part, the first part I correct 1 question only, but the second part I correct 2 questions. So first part will be 4C1, we'll correct 1 only, 1 over 4, 1, 3 over 4, power of 3, and then I multiply. This one will be 2C2, 1 over 2 power of 2, and 1 over 2 power of 0. And then, after I got all the answer here, I will just plus them together to get my final answer. Yeah, this question is a bit tough, but I hope you can understand what is happening here. Yeah, do I need to type for you? Yeah, for all these things, you just type the calculator yourself. Y3. Can we use the probability, sir? Yeah, this one actually can use the probability to do. Combination, I think so. I think can use combination as well. But because I try to use a probability to do, the working is like so messy and so many things over here. And Y is 1 over 4 because for A, B, C, D multiple choice question, you only can get 1 correct, right? P is the probability that you will get that question correct. So A, B, C, D, only 1 question will get correct, so it's 1 over 4. This one like correct or wrong, tick or cross, only like 1 over 2 chance you will get correct, right? So it's 1 over 2 for P. And just now student asked like why 3 questions? Because in order to get 80%, she need 3 more questions to get 80%. But not 9 because it have 9. Okay, because over here you still have how many questions? You still have 4, 2, 2 questions, which is 9 questions. But then you don't care how many questions is left because the question already tell you you want to get 80%, right? So in order to get the 80%, she need to correct 20 questions. She need to correct 20 questions. She already correct 17 questions. She just need 3 questions. The 3 questions is not possible for third part because third part she already say she answered 3 questions and she got all the correct. So there's not possible the third part. You imagine, is it possible you answer 3 questions but then you got 4 questions correct? It's not possible, right? So therefore, third part I will just eliminate. So I will find out all the chances for part 1 and part 2. Why cannot all correct? If all correct over here, she will score more than 80%. So this is the purpose the question give you 80% because they want to set 80% means 25 questions you correct 20 questions, you will get 80%. If you correct 21, definitely you will get higher than 20%. But then in this case, they only want you to get 20%. Okay? Okay, so there's a possible for someone from 65 to 80. Okay, I guess some students confused about the 17 question. This is something like, okay, you imagine you finish the exam already and then you check your answer with your friend or you check with your teacher. You realize the 17 question you already got correct. But then over here, you still have 4 and 2. You still have 6 questions here. You're not sure. So therefore, you want to find the probability. If you're not sure, you can still correct 3 more questions to get 80%. Yeah, this is the idea. Okay, because some student might think she already correct 17 questions already, then she already got her mark already. But what is the point of this whole question? This one is she already knows she correct 17. She need 3 more. Okay, I hope I don't confuse you. Can you try the combination? Because combinations, I'm not so sure how to do it, but I can try. After I try the combination already, maybe I make another video for this question if I find out any easier or faster way of doing this question. Yeah. This one only tick and cross, right? Only correct or wrong. So it's 50%, right? The chance of answer things correctly is 50%. So it's 1/2. Yeah, this video will save to my channel. Whoever want to watch later, you can watch. Part 2, why not 2/3? Why will be 2/3? The P is probability of getting that question correct. You just try to think you got correct or wrong only. The chance is 50%, right? Okay, so if you need to see the step, you can see the step, and you can try to type into a calculator, and yeah, I hope you can understand. Okay, so yeah, or you can take a screenshot or whatsoever. I'm going to move on because we have 25 questions. Now we still stuck in the question A. Why in the question 2 she can wrong all, but question 1 she cannot wrong all? Okay, if section 1 she wrong all, you imagine if section 1 she wrong all, she got 0. So mean only, but then he need 3 more questions, right? But then section 2 only can give her maximum 2 questions. Then total she only correct 19 questions. That's not possible because she need 20 questions to get 80. So that's not possible. Section 1 wrong all. Okay, I move on, I don't care. Okay, let's have a look at this question. Yeah, in the surveys are in a certain area, it's found that 4 out of 10 families own a car. The means that own a car is 150. This one is quite easy. Mean is 150 and P is 4/10. Number of families who involved in this survey, that means they want to find N, right? So we know mean equals to NP. This is sort of the formula. So 150 equals to NP is 4/10. So you got 1500 divided by 4. So number of family involved is 375. So that means you have 375 family involved in this part. Alright, the variance of the number of family who own the car. In order to find the variance, is basically is NPQ. So N is 375, P is 4 over 10, Q will be 6 over 10. So we just multiply them. You should get the correct answer easily. Yeah, the variance will be 90. Okay, very simple. So I move on to the next question. Okay. The random variable x for the normal distributions, the question gives you mean is 4.8 and standard deviation is not given. Alright, x is 6.6 and z is 1.2. So ask you to find the standard deviation. You know the formula, z equals to x minus mean over standard deviation. Sub in everything. 1.2 equals to 6.6 minus 4.8 divided by standard deviation. So you can get your standard deviation easily here. 6.6 minus 4.8 divided by 1.2. So you get 1.5 as your standard deviation. Okay, just make sure you know the formula. Then you can do this one. Okay, for the second part, they ask you to find the value of k with z is between negative k to k is half of standard deviation. So yeah, I work out the half of standard deviation. First standard deviation already found is 1.5. So it's 0.75. This is a probability. So therefore, for the part B, the probability between negative k to positive k here, the probability inside here, we find out is 0.75 because they say equals to half of standard deviation. So therefore, we need to find out the k. So my logic is the whole probability we know is 1. I will need to find out what it is. Because k and k, so both sides is symmetry, right? So if I use the 1 to minus 0.75, I use 1 to minus 0.75, I actually get 0.25. But because both sides is symmetry, right? So if I use 0.25, I divide it by 2, I get 0.125. Okay, so therefore, I can easily know the probability here is 0.125. Okay, then the next question over here is, how should I label here? Yeah, this part, how should I label it? Okay, this part basically is, this is k, right? Going this direction, right? So it's bigger. So this part, we label it, probability z is bigger than k. Is 0.125. Alright, so after you realize this one is bigger than k, then you can find your z value table. And yeah, do we have z value table here? Yeah, we don't. Okay, let me just download the z value table quickly. Then I can show you how to find. Yeah, this one you have to use the table, there's no choice. But this one's so blur, can I have something less blur? Okay, consider usable. Oh my god, how do I move this thing? Oh, because this one in full screen, I cannot move the thing. Okay, wait for a while, let me make it smaller. And I want to move this thing over here. Okay, now I can do it. Okay, right now we want to find the 0.125. I hope I still remember the number. So that one is a probability. So probability we need to find inside here. So 0.125, I hope you can actually see it. 0.125 will be this one. Oh my god, I cannot draw on this one. Is there any way for me to use my pen here? Okay, do you see 0.125? The 0.125 will be 1.15. Yeah, you can try to think that, is it possible you minus 1? There's no 1 over here, you only have 2. So therefore, I will just take 1.15 should be good. Okay. Yeah, if okay, then I will just... Okay, how do I make this one smaller? I need to make this one smaller, and let me just move the thing. Go back to the other monitor. Okay, so what is the value just now? 1.15, right? So therefore, K value will be 1.15. Okay, quite simple. I hope you can get it. Any questions so far? Sir, can take 0.1251? Yeah, because you can either take 0.125. There's no way you get 0.1250, right? I thought it must be exits 0.125. No, the question doesn't say it must exit 0.125. If I take, I think the 1.515 is correct. I think it's still okay. Yeah, when exam that time, the table is given. Okay, so let me move on to the next question. Yeah, K and negative K is the same value, just one is negative, the other one is positive, just like 2 and negative 2. So that means if you get a K is 1.15, the other one will be negative 1.15. If possible, just draw it out. So my answer doesn't same with yours one. Yeah, then you should double check your answer. Yeah. Okay, let me move on to now only question 11. What time now? Oh my god. It's 9:15 already. Okay, so let's move on to... Okay, is it given that the relations between the set x and set y? Okay, so it's given over there. So the image of 6. So both over here you have 6, right? So the image of 6 obviously will be 2 and 3. 2 and 3, simple. The range of the relation, when they say range, we only take the y value. So therefore, the range should be all the y, 2, 3, and 4. That's all. No need to write the repeat number. Alright, okay, these questions, there's few ways of doing this question, but I just show you some faster way to doing these questions. So yeah, for this question is a 3-mark question. So we have the fx, and then the question gives us gf inverse x is equals to 7x minus 27, and I need to find the g inverse. So what I will do over here is, yeah, I can get the f inverse EDA, right? F inverse x is just x minus 3. Alright, so you just move the plus 3 to the other side, you get x inverse. So I'm not going to explain how to get x inverse. So therefore, f inverse x, if I add the g inverse for both sides, so it will equals to the g inverse 7x minus 227. So maybe I will let m become 7x minus 27. Then the whole thing look more logic. So this is gm. Okay, f inverse we just found is x minus 3. So in order to get the g inverse x, I need to the other side must in terms of m, right? So therefore, I will make x as a subject. M plus 27 over 7 equals to x. Isn't it? So therefore, I will sub in this one. M plus 27 over 7 minus 3 equals to g inverse m. If you want to join it together, yeah, you can always do that. Minus 3, that's mean minus 21, right? So m minus 26 minus 21, you get 6, right? over 7. So therefore, G inverse x will equals to x plus 6 over 7. Yeah. I hope you can get my idea. Yeah, I guess this is the faster way. Of course, you can do a lot of substitution to find out the gx. After you find out the gx already, you still need to do the G inverse to actually get the thing. So I just find out this way actually is faster. So yeah, I hope you guys can understand this way. Okay, okay, for this question, you have 4 diagrams over here. State the graph that represent one-to-one function and give your reasons. Give your reason for your answer. Okay, one-to-one function is very obvious. Will be the fx and hx. Okay, just in case some students do not know what is the meaning one-to-one, it's like no matter how you draw a horizontal line, you can only touch one value only. You see, I only touch one value here, which is x1. So no matter how I draw my horizontal line, I only touch one value only. That means one y value, I mean y2 lead to x2, y1 lead to x1. This one we call one-to-one function. Like this one, the gx, if I draw a horizontal line, this is my y value, right? I actually touch two x value. Do you see? I touch the x1 and x2. I touch 2x value. 2x value go to 1 value. This one we call many-to-one function. Same idea, if I draw one horizontal line, this one I touch 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is many-to-one also. Okay, for this one, no matter how I draw my horizontal line, I only touch one x value. So this one is one-to-one function. So represent one-to-one. So this one is fx and hx because one object's value only give you because one object only link to one image. Yeah, you can write anything you think the sound is okay for you, then yeah, show that it's one-to-one function. Alright, does not have the inverse. So therefore, if you study properly about function, you know in order to have inverse function, it must be the one-to-one function. So therefore, in order to have the inverse, it must be one-to-one, right? So therefore, gx and kx is not one-to-one. So both of these does not have function, does not have the inverse function, because it is not the one-to-one function, not the one-to-one function. Yeah, because if the function is not one-to-one, it cannot have inverse. Okay, so basically one-to-one function, that means whoever line 1x value can only give you one y value. Example, I give you like this is one-to-one, this is one-to-one. Yeah, any line only going one direction, one is one-to-one. Like this is not one-to-one, this is not one-to-one. Okay, I hope you get some idea. Yes, just the one-to-one have the inverse. Many-to-one or one-to-many or many-to-many all don't have the inverse. Only one-to-one have inverse. No, only one-to-one have inverse. One-to-many does not have inverse. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The straight line is a tangent to the curve. So tangent to the curve, tangent in your MF, you only need to know two things. First thing, whenever you see the word tangent, b squared minus 4ac equals to 0. Second thing, you see the word tangent, that means same gradient. Same gradient at the same time is mean your m will same with the dy dx. Okay, whenever you see tangent in SPM MF, think about these two things. Okay, so in this case, I will use the first one because I have some unknown here. It's tangent to this curve, right? So what I will do over here is I will sub the y into the y. So what I will do here is I will sub the y into the y. I will get 2x plus 1 equals to x squared plus 2px plus 5 over 2p. So in order to use the formula above, we must have the general quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So therefore, I will need to simplify this equation. minus 2x, so I will factorize out the x, 2p minus 2, x plus 1 will become minus 1, 5 over 2p minus 1. Then obviously you should be able to see out your a, b, and c, because I will need to do the substitution here. So b squared minus 4, a is 1, right? C is 5 over 2p minus 1 equals to 0. So I kind of need to solve this one. 4p squared minus 8p plus 4. Okay, negative 4 times this one will be minus 10p plus 4 equals 0. So I will need to solve this equation. Minus 18p plus 8 equals 0. I divided by 2. 2p squared minus 9p plus 4 equals to 0. Then I factorize out 2p and p. So 4 and 1 minus for both. So therefore p equals to 1 over 2 and p equals to 4. Alright, this is how we do this kind of question. Can you use the dy dx? I guess maybe. But dy dx, I worry, will only give you one answer. Let's try about using the dy dx for these questions. Okay, let me erase all this and try about dy dx. Because dy dx, normally, when I will use the dy dx, normally when the question gives me the x coordinate, then I will use the dy dx. Or else I will try to not using dy dx. Okay, so dy dx, we know the gradient for this line is 2. So then I will do the dy dx for the curve. I should get 2x plus 2p. So see the tangent, right? So they have the same gradient. Okay, if you do dy dx, right, you will start over here. You will start over this step. Because what? In order to find the p, you need to know about x value. Because the curve will tangent to the straight line, but you do not know the tangent at which coordinate. So therefore, in this case, you can't use the dy dx. Because if you use the dy dx, yeah, there's no way you get the x coordinate, then you can't find the value of p. So no choice, do the b squared minus 4ac. Alright. Next question. Okay, this question is a little bit hard also, but I will try my best to explain. But I'm not so sure my answer is correct also. If some of you got the answer, please let me know. Yeah, in order to do the dy dx, normally the question will tell you, okay, it's tangent to the curve at a point P. And P, they will give you the x equals to 2. Then we know we will use the dy dx. But in the question 14 just now, you don't have any coordinates. So therefore, whenever don't have any coordinate, I will try to avoid using the dy dx. So is it possible the tangent that have the minimum points lies on the gradient? Lies on it have gradient? Yeah, if tangent line have the minimum lies on the minimum point, the gradient is 0. Yeah, that's possible. You want to do completing the square? I don't think so. Because in order to do a completing a square, normally you only have one equation. You want to find the maximum or minimum point, only you do a completing a square. Alright, so if no questions, yeah, we will just do about this question. Okay, so diagram 15 actually show the football player kick a ball 5 meters on the left. On the left, oops, you all cannot read the question. Okay, from the left of the halfway of the line or the football field. Okay, so over here, what I will do over here is, maybe I assume this is the x-axis. And I assume this one will be my y-axis. So since the question is about a bit three-dimensional, but then I hope you can see. The question tell you is 5 meters on the left, right? So I assume the distance here is 5 meters. Okay, since the question says it's 5. So therefore, I assume this is the coordinate sort of something like -5. The locus of the ball represents by this function. So you have a function. So the ball actually reached the maximum height at 9 meters. So I assume it will reach at maximum height is 9 meters. So here should be 9 meters. Okay, it's a bit 3-dimensional, but I hope you can see. And touch the ground from where it was kicked is a 60 meter. So therefore, from here to here, we touch the ground here, right? Total is 60 meter. So therefore, here will be another 55 lah. Because here already have 5, right? So you know the whole thing will be 60. So because this is parabola curve, so therefore this point must always fall on the middle, right? So it's 60, it's symmetry, right? 60 I divide by 2, I got 30. So that means from here to here, if I want to have the 30 units, from -5 add 30 units, this coordinate here is 25, right? So therefore, I know the maximum point here should be 25 and 9. Okay? Yeah, if you get the idea. So, or you can assume, yeah, if I write y-axis like that, it's very hard for you to see. Maybe I make my y-axis like a bit 3-dimensional also. Start from here. This one will be the y-axis. Yeah, here will be 9. Alright, so therefore, okay, right now we got the maximum point already, and then we know this one actually is a curve lah. So since I know the maximum point and I have the coordinate of maximum point, I guess the easiest way of doing that is do dy dx. So I will differentiate fx and make it equal to 0 because I want to find the maximum value, right? So if I differentiate xx, I should get -2 over 100 x plus 4p equals to 0. And I know my x value is 25, right? I will sub in the 25 into here. -2 over 100 times 25 plus 4p equals to 0. Then I will solve this one. This one is basically 50 over 100 is -1 over 2. So 4p will equals to 1 over 2. P is 1 over 8. Alright, then in order to find the q, since I know this curve, equation of curve passing through this one, 25 and 9, I will just substitute 25 and 9 into my hx. So this is 9. My x is 25, right? This one is 25 squared plus 4. P we just got is 1 over 8. So 4 over 8 lah, times 25 minus 2q. Minus 2q plus 5. So I will just solve this equation, then I can easily got my q. I move the 2q here. This is 9. Okay, then I will type everything into the calculator lah. 25 squared divided by 100. And then I add a negative for it lah. Multiply -1 plus 100 over 8 plus 5. Yeah, basically I get 45 over 4. So I guess the q should be 45 over 8. Yeah, I guess this is how we do this kind of question. Sir, can sir draw a 2D curve? Yeah, I can draw a 2D curve over here. You need a 2D curve over here. So basically you have a y-axis here and x-axis here. The guy actually standing here, which is -5, and then he throw the ball, which is 60 meter from here. So -5 to 60 meter here should be 55 lah, because we know the distance here need to be 60 meter. And then they say the height here is 9 meter. So therefore, we know this coordinate over here should be 25, right? So this one should be 25 and 9. Yeah, this is the 2D curve, and then you just solve the equation. So is my Q answer correct? I'm not sure. Yeah, if you check the so-called the marking scheme, they assume the maximum point is 39. Yeah, because they just use a 60 divided by 2, then they thought the x value is 30. But then 30 is the distance. So I don't think the 30 itself should be the coordinate. So therefore, I change a bit. I change it to 25. So you might find my answer is slightly different with the marking scheme. Because this is 60, right? How to get 25? 60, if I divide 2, because this one must be symmetry, right? Divide 2 is 30, what? From negative 5 to 25 is 30 unit. From here is another 30 unit, right? So this is how I get 25. Yeah, I know a lot of you, if you download the answer, you actually get 1.125. And I also download the answer, I also got 1.125. But then when I do it myself, I cannot convince myself the answer is 1.125. So I will just follow my answer. I might be wrong, I might be wrong, so I don't know. Yeah, how to get the negative 5? Because there's the question says the football is like 5 meters off the left of the halfway of the line. So I assume the line over here is 0. So I guess there's a reason why they tell us from the left, right? So I guess from the left maybe it represents by negative 5. Yeah, because they say it's 5 meters from the left. So I assume this one will just say this is origin on the middle, 5 meters on the left it will be negative 5. Okay, so yeah, I hope I do answer your questions. I hope the SPM will not come out something like that. Okay, so let's move on to 16. We are close to finish, then I can let all of you go to rest. Yeah, so I also don't like those questions is the less yeah, it's a bit confused also. But based on the equation, we know it's not on the middle, because one of the reason is if you understand the curve, example, hx is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. Once you have the bx axis, the curve is not possible it's on the middle. It's not possible like symmetry. If your equation only like hx equals to ax squared plus c, then your curve is very nice, the maximum is on the middle. But the purpose of bx over here is to help your curve either move to the left or move to the right. And you check back this equation, you realize they have the bx. I don't care about what is the value of bx. As long as the bx exists, so the curve actually will move around. So because of this one also, I was kind of agree this one is negative 5 lah. Because if you understand about the equation of the curve, you kind of can get the idea of it. Okay, so yeah, let me move on. Of course, if I find out the more evidence, then I will just let you know. Okay, find the range values of x such that the quadratic function is positive. So this quadratic function is positive. There's few ways you can do it. That means this quadratic function is positive, so bigger than 0. Okay, so it's bigger than 0. I need to solve this one. You can expand and factorize again if you want, or you want to do the a squared minus b squared also can. So I can, because 16 is a perfect square number, so it's just 9. I can call it 4 squared. Then you realize this is a squared minus b squared, right? So you should get a plus b, a minus b, bigger than 0. So my a is x minus 5. A plus b, a minus b. Alright, then I will solve this one. This one should be x minus 1, and then x minus 9 is bigger than 0. If bigger than 0, we know we're actually moving these two directions, right? And my value is 1 and 9. So therefore, my x is bigger than 9, my x is less than 1. Alright, this is how I solve this kind of inequality question for quadratics. So yeah, so let me move on to another question. Alright, diagram 17 show the first 3 sets of the square built from the matchsticks. So find the maximum number of sets of square. They want the set of square. This set play a very important role here, because this one we call one set. Then this one we call the second set. This one we call third set. So they want to know how many sets you should have for 290 matchstick. So I will kind of calculate out how many matchstick I use for the first set is 4. The second one is about 16. The third one should be 28, and so on. Alright, so obviously from here we know our A is 4. Our D should be 12. So yeah, we got the value A and D. So maximum number of square can be formed with 290, right? So I will do something like Sn equals to 290, and I know this is AP. So therefore, I will just use the AP formula. Yeah, AP for Sn is n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. Yeah, I will solve this one. So n is unknown over 2. 2a is 2, 4 plus n minus 1. D is 12, should equals to 290. And then I will just need to solve this equation to find out my n value. Yeah, I factorize out the 2 first, or 2 I can move to, no, I divide 2 here. This one becomes 6. Okay, so therefore n I multiply, I get 4n here. And then this is 6n times n plus 6n squared. Negative 6 minus 6n equals to 290. So 6n squared minus 2n minus 290 equals to 0. Yeah, 3n squared minus n minus 145 equals 0. And yeah, I got this one will have decimal. So have to use the formula negative 1 plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So you solve already. Of course I will use a calculator over here. I'm not going to waste time. So 3, negative 1, negative 145. So my n is negative 112. So therefore the other is negative so I ignore the negative. So I say maximum will be 7 set lah. Okay, I hope you can get the idea. Question 16, can I use b squared minus 4ac bigger than 0? Nope. The question say the inequality is positive doesn't mean b squared minus 4ac is bigger than 0. So you cannot do b squared minus 4ac. b is negative 1. Oops, yep, it's negative 1, you are right. Why don't we use the Tn? We use Tn. Find the maximum number of set that can form using, because this is total number of matchstick, right? Total number of matchstick, that means is something like 4 plus 16 plus 28 and continue plus, right? 290 I doubt can make up to 24 set. I don't think so. You want to know, is it possible? We can do a simple experiment here. Yeah, because I love about experiment. So if we agree about the A and D, I need some space here. Maybe I use here. If we agree about A and D, so the next one will be 40. Next one will be 52. Next one will be 64. Next one will be 76. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we try to sum up all the matchstick we have here. See what number we get. 4 plus 16 plus 28 plus 40 plus 52 plus 64 plus 76. So if I sum up to T7 over here, I sum up from T1 to T7. I mean S7 over here already have 280 already. Next one definitely T8. Definitely we will have more than 200. We will use more than 290 matchstick already, right? So if you tell me the answer is 24, maximum number of set of square that can be first 3 sets show the first 3 sets of the square built. Maximum number of sets of square that can be formed. Yeah, I guess total should be 7 only. I'm not sure how do you get 24. If you know how you get 24, why using Tn? Because find the maximum number of set of square that can be formed using 200. Is it the question says like you only have 290 mastic, like you want to form like how many set of it? Unless one of the set, that means one of it use all the 290, then I guess the 24 is makes sense. Unless one of it is going to use all the 290. But then here they ask you to find the maximum number set of square, right? I guess this one we call one set of square. We doesn't count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 like that. We just the whole thing should get 1. Yeah, so set of square can, because you read the question, the first sentence make the very important here. They say show the first 3 set of square. So you doesn't imagine this one mean 3 square, right? 3 set of square, this one we call it 1 set, 2 set, 3 set. So I don't care how many small square they have over here. So, and then the question asked me like find the maximum number of sets. So I need to know like total I have how many sets. If total I have 24 sets, you can keep on plus 12 until 24. And then you sum all of them, I guess it's more than 290 mastic. Yeah, so, but I might be wrong lah. I'm not 100%, but I just like tell you my logics. Okay, so I hope my logic can help you understand. Yeah, because I do see the marking scheme, they use TM, but then it doesn't make sense for me. Yeah, because sometimes the math I need to convince myself why I need to do that. Yeah, I'm so sorry about different answer, but let me move on. 7 more questions because I need to rest also. So, okay, a geometry progression has 10 terms and a common ratio R is given that 7 term is 4 times the, okay, so this one they say term 7 is 4 times of the term 5. And sum of all the terms, that's S10, is negative 4092. Alright, so, and this one is common ratio, and R is less than 0, so this is AR power of 6 equals to 4, AR power of 4. So I will just solve this one, so I will simplify A and A, divide, I get R squared equals to 4, R equals to positive negative 2, right? So, but then R is less than 0, I take negative 2 only. Alright, and Sn, since R is less than 1, I'm going to use this formula. A 1 minus R power of n over 1 minus R. Okay, so I will use this formula for this. So therefore, let me use other color lah. Okay, so A 1 minus R is negative 2, right? Negative 2 power of 10 over 1 minus negative 2 equals to negative 4092. Alright, so 1 minus bracket negative 2 power of 10. I get negative 1023a over 3 equals to negative 4092. So yeah, 4092 times 3 divided by 1023. Yeah, A should equals to 12. Alright, so why R is negative 2? You just square root the 4. You will get positive negative 2. Yeah, you get positive negative 2. But the question says R must less than 0. So I will take negative 2. Can R be 2? R cannot be 2. The question already say R must less than 0. 2 is not less than 0. 2 is bigger than 0. Okay, so read the question carefully lah. This is something very important to make sure you do not lose so many marks. Okay, so indices. Yeah, whenever indices you see plus or minus is not in the power one, you know this one you have to do a substitution method. So I want to do substitution method quickly. I will do 3 square times 3x minus 12 3x plus 1 over 27 equals to 0. Okay, maybe I let 3 power of x equals to k. So 9 times k is 9k minus 12k equals to negative 1 over 27. So this is negative 3k equals to negative 1 over 27. K equals to 1 over 81. What is k? K is 3 power of x, right? 1 over 81 is 3 power negative 4. So x equals to negative 4. Alright, simple question. I hope you know how to do this kind of question. Okay, so I'm going to move on to log. Alright, same idea. Okay, they want m in terms of b. So I'm going to solve this one. So log bm, I'm going to make everything in terms of log b. For the indices, we can use the calculator to show the answer without working step, is it? You better show the step, but like this one, maybe if you want to show the step, you can do this 1 over 3 power 4, then you get 3 power negative 4. It should be fine. Alright, so okay, this one I want to make everything in base log b. So here I'm going to chain base. Chain base, you should know about this formula. Log AB will equal to 1 over log BA. So that means if I want to swap between base and the number, I just do the 1 over. Alright, this is just a formula. This is 1 over log BM equals 6. Then maybe I let the log BM equals to K. Yeah, just like K. So K plus 9 over K equals to 6. So I solve the quadratic equation first. K squared plus 9 equals to 6k. I multiply k for whole equation. That's mean I multiply k for first one, second one, and third one. Alright, so you know this is quadratic. K squared minus 6k plus 9 equals to 0. Then this is k minus 3. K minus 3 equals to 0. Then your k equals to 3. What is k? K will be log bm, right? So your m equals to b power of 3. Okay, this kind of log question is a little bit hard, but you use a substitution method, you will make the whole question look very simple. When do we use substitution? You can always use substitution, right? But if you ask me when you use a substitution, I would say in this kind of example, you see the whole log b some unknown thing is at the denominator. If you see the whole thing is at the bottom here, you better use substitution, because this one most likely they are quadratic. If not, you will just stuck in the first step here. There's no way you move further. So yeah, when you start, maybe you think about substitution method. Yeah, I'm so happy some of you actually watch my log video. Yeah, I hope can make you understand better about log. Okay, we have one more log questions here. Okay, they want to find the value of log px. So yeah, the question doesn't mention about y. So my first idea is maybe the question doesn't ask us to find y. I will just substitute my y into the y here. Okay, so this is what happened. Log p x squared. Y will be p power 5, right? So p power 5 cubed. Alright, so I will solve this one. This one will be log b x squared. Multiply means plus, right? Plus is p, sorry, not b. It's p. This is log p. P power of 5 multiply 3 will be p power of 15. Alright, so therefore equals to 7. Oh my god, I shouldn't write like that. Okay, make me write equals to 7 here. This one is just simplified lah. Okay, so this one will be 2 log px. I move the 2 to the front. Same thing, I move the 15 to the front. So 15 plus 15 log pp equals to 1 equals to 7. So therefore log px equals to 7 minus 15 divided by 2. So therefore is equal to negative 4. This is answer for log px. Okay, so I hope you actually get it. Okay, so I'm going to move on to next questions. Okay, if some students do not understand about this part. Okay, if I have x squared power of 10, this one it will equals to the x20. You can actually multiply it. So of course I can give you some idea lah. Like let's say 2 square power of 3. What is 2 square? 2 square basically is 4, right? 4 power of 3. What is 4 power of 3? Is 64, right? But if I know some shortcut, I know basically 2 can multiply with 3 is 6. 2 power of 6 is 64. Yeah. So therefore, you can multiply 2 with 3. So therefore, in this case, you can multiply 5 with 3 and become 15. Am I doing any mistakes? Oh, I see so many 6 over there. Okay, so question 22. Okay, for these questions, okay, diagram 22 show an empty cylinder container with the radius of 3. So this container will have the radius, the r equals to 3, and filled with the waters. The water raised is 8 cm in 4 seconds. So I want to know the speed of raising. So I will just use the distance divided by time, should be 2 meters per second. So that means the height itself going to raise every second, going to raise about 2 cm per second. Alright, this is the idea I have. After 54 seconds, all the amounts of the water in the cylindrical container will pour into the cubical container. Cubical container means these 3 length is the same, x, 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 and x. So the volume is basically x cubed. Alright, so find the minimum length of the cubical container correct to 2 decimal places that can be filled all the amounts of the waters. So okay, so first thing is I want to know about the water in the cylinder. So because after 54 seconds, each second it raised 2 cm, right? So after 54 seconds, so my height is basically 2 times 54. So it's 108 cm. Okay, so I want to get the volume of cylinder. Volume of cylinder, it will be pi r square h, isn't it? If whenever I have pi, I want to check if the question gives us any pi value. The question doesn't give us pi, then we can type in the calculator. Pi is pi, r will be 3 square, height will be 108. So this is total, what total I have? 3 square times 108. So I have 972 pi. So because the volume just now is x cubed, right? Because x is basically the length. Because the question asked me to find the minimum length, I will let x become the length of cubical container. Alright, so you just write some words to show that actually this is your x value. Alright, so therefore 972 pi will equals to cube root of x, right? So I leave my answer in 2 decimal. Then I cube root my answer. I get x equals to 14.51 cm. So this one should be my minimum length. Okay, so yeah, I hope you actually get it. I just leave my answer in pi here because later I square it, I can get most accurate answer. Of course, you can multiply pi into it and then you will get some very big number. Okay, so I hope you actually can get this. Where do you teach tuition? I teach in Cheras and PJ. Yeah, but next year I will focus more on teaching online. Yeah, because a lot of students actually ask me to teach online, so yeah, but I will find out some way to make money from it, because if not, I will be very poor. Okay, anyways, let's move on to question 23 here. Yeah, I'm not teaching in VBEST, but I heard the VBEST is very famous. But I do not want to help them to do any advertising here. Okay, so let's move on here. Okay, so find the equations of the tangent to the curve. Equation of tangent, I say so many times, equation of tangent. This is some short form equation of tangent. Some step you just remember, always can work one. First thing, do dy dx. Second thing, sub x value into dy dx. And third step, form the equation using y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. You just copy down these 3 steps. Whenever the question asks you to find equation of tangent, follow these 3 steps, you can easily get full mark. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use the 3 steps here. First step, I do the dy dx. This is 10x minus 3x squared. Second step, I sub my x value into my dy dx. So with 10 1 minus 3 1 squared, which is 7. Third step, I form the equation y minus 12 equals to m is 7. dy dx is m, dy dx is m, okay? X minus 1. So y equals to 7x plus 5. Alright, just like this, quite simple. So make sure you remember all these 3 steps. You can easily get equation of tangent. Yeah, this video will upload to my YouTube later, so whoever miss it, you can watch it tomorrow. Alright, so let's move on to last 2 questions. I'm so happy, almost finished. Are we on time? Yeah, about 10 already. Yep. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow I will do the paper 2 for MRSM. If I have time, I will make an announcement on my YouTube and my Facebook. If I have time, maybe it will be tomorrow night 8 to 10 as well. But I will double confirm. I just worry I got things to do. Yeah, because a lot of students ask me about paper 2 as well. They say their paper 2 is very hard. But paper 2, normally 2 hours is not enough for me to finish the paper. Paper 2 is so long. Yeah, so... And yes, a lot of students ask about negeri sembilan. Maybe next week we will discuss about negeri sembilan. The IGCSE already finished the MF. I don't think I have time for IGCSE math. Math is very simple. You can study yourself. Alright, let's come back to these questions. Okay, whenever I see something like I cannot integrate, because there's no way you integrate this one, so I will look back my dy dx equation. So I will copy down my dy dx equation, and then I will get the things from here. X plus 3 power 4. So in order to get something like this, I don't really integrate the questions, but I will get my integration answer by simplify the equation. So first thing is I integrate both sides. And then I add the limit that one, negative 1 to 0, negative 1 to 0, negative 1 to 0. Okay, but this one, I mean, the whole thing here look quite similar to this one, but still not the same, because top is 6 and 4, this is 3 and 2. So my idea is maybe I need to factorize out the 2 to make it look exactly the same. 3 minus 2x. So I factorize out the 2, now actually they look the same. And then the other side, integrate dy dx. I say so many times, whenever you integrate dy dx, you're getting y, alright? What is your y equation? Your y is over here, right? So this side, you will get 2x, x plus 3, power of 3, from negative 1 to 0. Okay, you don't need to integrate, because you integrate dy dx, integrate and d dx, you simplify and left y. So I don't do any integration here. Alright, so then I will substitute the 0, and then I do not want to have 2 here. I'm going to move my 2 to the other side, it will become half. Okay, so therefore I will get half. And I sub the 0 into the equation. First thing I get 0, because 0 divided by everything, I got 0. And then I will substitute the negative 1 into here. I should get negative 2 over 2 cubed A. So therefore this is 1 over 4, so it will be 1 over 8. My final answer is 1 over 8 when I integrate the whole thing. So you realize in this kind of questions, the whole process, I didn't really integrate the questions. What I'm doing here is I simplify the question until the end I got the answer. So basically, you see, after I got the thing, after I got the things I want here, I just doesn't move here. So the question is always stick here, and then I solve the other side. Okay, this is how we do this kind of questions. I'm IG May June 2019. Yeah, next year May June student. Where is the 2 come from? The 2 is actually I factorized out myself. Because supposedly you have no idea where is the 2 come from, you can actually, because this one, I can do something like 3 minus 2x over x plus 3, 4, right? And then 2, I can take it out, right? Then I get 3 minus 2x over x plus 3 power 4. Basically I factorize, because for the integration we learned about this, right? If we integrate k, example fx, we can say this is, if k is a constant, we can take out the k, right? This is the rule of integration. Okay, so do this type of question like 24 more in other videos. Yeah, this kind of question actually is quite easy one, but then maybe you're just not used to it. You go to find out this kind of question. Whenever you find out there's something you cannot integrate one, the first thing go into your mind is like, you need to find a way to solve it. You don't need integrate one. For this kind of question 24, I'm not doing any integration here, but you need to understand the law of integration. The first thing you need to understand is integrate dy dx will always give you the y. Then you copy down the equation of y. The second thing you need to do is you always need to simplify the dy dx one, because the dy dx they give you, right, you always need to add the integration sign for both sides. And then maybe sometimes you need to multiply in some constant number, or sometimes you can factorize out some constant number to make the questions you want, to make it become the question you want. Alright, so yeah, let's move on to the last question of today. Simple. Okay, so the only one method to find equation of the curve in your SPM or your IGCSE student. Your syllabus, only one way to find the equation of the curve. Whenever you see the equation of curve, that means y integrate dy dx. Okay, because just now I just say whenever you integrate dy dx, you will get y. This is how you get the equation of curve. Always integrate your gradient function. Gradient function is dy dx. So I need to integrate this one to get my equation of curve. But over here, you need to make sure you must have one coordinate. You must have one point, then only you can find the value of c. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So first thing is I will write y equals to integrate my dy dx first. 2 minus x power of 3. And then of course I will simplify it into the in-text form, negative 3. Then this one actually will give me what? Integration is what? Power plus 1 become negative 2. Divide by total power, negative 2. Differentiate inside the bracket, you will get negative 1 plus c. Alright, so yeah, I will simplify this one. This is positive 2 and 10. I get 5 here. So I have 5 over 2 minus x squared plus c. And the question do give me one coordinate to help me find c. This coordinate is help you to find c value. Alright, so therefore I have 1 and 2, right? So 2 equals to 5. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1 plus c. c equals to negative 3. Therefore, my equation of the curve is 5 over 2 minus x squared minus 3. Done. Okay, this is how to find the equation of curve and how to integrate this kind of questions. It's not too hard, and I hope you can understand it. Yeah, anything you want to ask? Yeah, finally I can zoom myself bigger. Then I can talk to you on the middle. Yeah. Why not? Why cannot use differentiation? Because in order to find the equation of the curve, there's only one way, integrate dy dx. And gradient function already is the dy dx, so you don't need to differentiate again. If not, it will be d2y dx squared. Alright, so therefore cannot use differentiation. If you integrate d dx, yeah, because the gradient function already is the dy dx, you integrate dy dx, you actually straight away get y. This is the reason why you need to integrate your gradient function. Yeah, I hope I can borrow my brain to you. Every year a lot of students want to borrow my brain. No, actually I'm not that smart. But then, yeah, I need to see a lot of different type of questions. So a lot of students ask me how to score well in SPM. Yeah, I always ask my student, in each topic that has specific pattern of the questions, you make sure you see like all the type. Like each topic maybe have 10 or 20 type questions. So the more pattern of the question you see, then you can answer. But you need to gain the experience from it. Because a lot of students, like let's say chapter 1 had 10 type, you only see 2 type. So when the exam come out another 8 type, there's no way you can solve it. So the only way to master certain topic, you go buy the reference book or borrow from your senior or whatsoever. Go to find out all the different type of the question. If one type of question you understand already, go for another type. Yeah, check out more different type of question will help you improve your math a lot. Why divided by -1? Because when you integrate this kind of things, let's say I integrate, let's say, oh my god, let me move myself because some students ask me questions and I want to explain. Let's say I integrate 2 plus 3x power of 5. When you integrate this one, right, so power is +1. So 2 plus 3x power of 6 divided by 6. But you still need to differentiate inside. You still need to differentiate inside and right at the bottom. So if I differentiate 2 plus 3x, I actually get 3, right? So this one explains why I get the -1 here. Yeah, if you don't understand integration, I can't help, but I do have the integration video. Yeah, make sure you go check it out. And yeah, most likely I will discuss paper 2 tomorrow and about same time. So I will see you guys tomorrow if we have the paper 2 tomorrow. Yeah. And paper 2, normally you can see my all the past year and everything. Normally I will not discuss all the questions in paper 2 because it will take me 3 to 4 hours. That's not possible. I will pick some questions in the paper 2 to discuss. Yeah, because paper 2 a lot of long questions and I don't think I have enough time to explain all the long questions in 2 hour time. But anyways, yeah, I have a lot of requests about Kedah paper, Seremban paper, SBP paper, and you have about 3 more weeks for SPM. I try my best to cover 1 or 2 more. Okay, if tomorrow it will be 6 p.m. Malaysian time, yeah, I guess SPM students all from Malaysia. Yeah, it's Malaysia time 8 to 10, most likely. But I will post the information on my YouTube and my Facebook. Yeah, the live streaming will be about 2 hours, like today, 8 to 10. Yeah, I have about 2 weeks, right? So yeah, so 2 weeks you just see how much you can do. 2 weeks can still make a lot of difference. Yeah, we have the student from Brunei. Yeah, welcome to Malaysia. Yeah, do a lot of exercise. But when you do exercise, please do not choose back the same type of questions you to do. Find a different type of questions. Alright, so yeah, I guess still have 2 more weeks. So I will see you guys tomorrow, most likely. Alright, all the best and rest early. And if you still like not so sure about this paper, please go to download the paper online and try to redo it yourself. Because sometimes a lot of students think that they understand mean they can do. I say to my student many times, understand doesn't mean you can do. So go to download the paper and try to redo it again until you really get the idea. Alright, so Yeah, if you want to join my Instagram, I mean, it's not Instagram, Telegram, go to search y equals mx+c. My Facebook page also, y equals mx+c. Alright, I see you guys tomorrow. Bye. I'm going to offline now. Good night and have a sweet dream.